Hi everyone, happy new year and happy start of the 2025 gardening season. My name is T.I. and I garden in Zone 7B, New Jersey, and we're actually in week 13 until our last expected frost date, which here is April 7th. So if you want to follow along with anything that I do from here on out, I'll be listing the week that I'm in, and you could just go to the same week for you instead of trying to track the dates, and that is an easier way for us to just kind of garden together, if that makes sense. But today we are going to be diving into a seed starting method that I've actually been wanting to try for the past 2 years. So I've been gathering bottles and just waiting it out for the time that I'm actually motivated to start in January, and this is the year. So the winter sowing method is when you use some type of container to create kind of a micro greenhouse situation. This is a method that you would use for your perennials. So these are any type of plants that comes back in your zone year after year. You'd also use this method for any of your seeds that needs a period of cold stratification. You could check the back of your seeds for that information. And also you could use this method for your cold hardy flowers. So these are flowers that naturally in their environment, they take a bit of light frost or maybe a little heavier frost, and they can withstand being outside in the cold. And then once it starts to warm up, you'll see that they kind of wake up and they will start to, push out life, leaves, all that good stuff. So I actually compiled a list for you guys if you are new to this method, just as I am, what you could actually start specifically with the winter sowing method. So first I'm going to go over your cool weather crops. So these are carrots, kale, lettuce, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, chard, beets, Brussels sprout, collards, radish, turnips, cauliflower. Then you have your onions, your leeks, your peas, your arugula, your celery, kolardi, mustard greens, parsnips, your rutabaga, and your bok choys. So those are all the cold hardy crops, vegetables that you are able to start with this method. So let's say, for example, you are just starting to garden this year, or you're a gardener that just don't want to or cannot invest in a lighting system like I have in the back. This is a great way for you to maybe have a jump start to your garden season, and then also you're able to start those cool weather crops that needs light in order to germinate. I also compiled a list of your hardy annuals. So these are your annuals that are cold tolerant and they have the ability to withstand a light frost. So you have nasturtiums, alyssum, pansy, snapdragons, violas, primrose, petunias, calendula, foxgloves, larkspur, anemones, dusty miller, African daisy, love and a miss, sweet peas, your cornflower or bachelor buttons, your bells of Ireland, poppies, your honeywort, dianthus, and if I'm missing anything, feel free to list them down in the comment section down below. There's also some herbs like your rosemary and your parsley, which are perennials or just take a while to come up, that you can also start with this method. So it is really, really amazing. And I have seen time and time again where people are getting great results from this. My main goal in using this method is to start most of my cold hardy flowers. I will throw in maybe a vegetable here and there. I'll list with you guys what specifically I'm going to use, but for the most part I'm just using it for perennial flowers and my cold hardy flowers. So for this method, you will need some type of container to hold soil. I have seen where people have used Ziploc bags, they've used Gatorade bottles, just anything that could hold soil. You are able to create drainage at the bottom, and then at the top there's an opening for when rain or you would go ahead and water your plants. So I have these Poland Spring bottles, my brother actually drinks out of these all the time, and when he came over and I saw them, I asked him to please save me some. So these are the 3-liter bottles, and I really like them because it is completely clear. So we normally, when I see these winter sowing videos, people are using milk jugs, and we don't drink milk here. We are mostly plant-based milk, so that wouldn't work for us. But also, I don't like the opaqueness of the bottle. I want to be able to see what's going on and if my seeds are actually sprouting without removing the duct tape. So you need the container. You need some type of tape. I mean, duct tape works really well, but you could also use Scotch tape, painter's tape. I mean, you know, use what you have. And then you would need potting soil. You do not want to put seed starting soil in this, mainly because they're going to be in that container for approximately 3 months or so, and you want the soil to have some type of nutrients to give to your seedlings once they have pop up. You don't want to have to go out there and use some maybe liquid fertilizer. You kind of want to make this as easy and stress-free on yourself as possible, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. And then another thing to note is that this is also a great method if you are, like myself, really tired of hardening off seedlings. So when it comes to using your light system indoors, before you're able to take them out and plant them, you have to do something called hardening off. And that's when you kind of slowly get your seedlings acclimated to everything that's happening outside, the wind, the intense sun, the temperature. So this method completely eliminates the hardening off process. So I'm going to go over the different seeds that I decided to use this method for. I already went and did all the containers, and then after I go over the seeds, I'll pop in just a little clip of the entire process that I did for my winter sowing. I do have another container that I am still waiting for some seeds to arrive, and then I will do that. But it's also something that you don't have to have everything at one time. If you have more seeds and then you get a bottle later, just add it to the pile and it will be fine. So it's not something that you need to have everything right then and there. So as far as veggies, I did go ahead and completely empty out my, let me make sure this is focused. I finally connected my phone to my camera, so now I could go ahead and make sure these are focused for you guys. So this is the New York Early onion, and I had this from 2022, and like I told you guys last season, when I was harvesting the onions, you saw me start some of my older packets of onions, and the germination was very all over the place. As time goes on, year after year, the germination of your onions drastically falls. So because I have these last two that are from 2022, I decided to go ahead and use the winter sowing method for this, because if I'm not that invested in getting anything from this, so if it does come up and I do get onions, great, but if I don't, that's also fine. I just wanted to make sure that I went ahead and used these up. Then as far as lavenders, I actually went ahead and planted all of my lavenders in one container. So first we have the Hitcoat, I hope I'm saying that right, Hitcote lavender. This is from Renee Garden, and this is, it looks like a blend of like blue and purple blooms. It's a true English lavender with perfume flowers of deepest purple. So it's a very deep purple. It gets 1.5 to 2 feet tall. And for all of my lavenders, I just simply sprinkled them on top. I followed whatever the seeds packet directions gave me. This is the, let me make sure. this is the Elegance Purple Lavender. This is also a perennial in my zone 5 to 7, and it also has a soothing fragrance and a rich purple blooming perennial. So normally on the back it says to start seeds indoors in late winter. It says sprinkle on moist paper towel and hold in fridge for 30 to 40 days. So that is an indication that these seeds need cold stratification. It needs a period of coldness in order for the seeds to germinate. So if you are maybe not sure of which seeds need that, your seed packet will say maybe hold in the fridge for a couple of weeks or hold in your freezer for a month. Just be mindful, not all seeds are able to go in the freezer, but you can put all of them with the cold stratification in your fridge. So just be careful, don't just dump all of them in the freezer. Be sure to read the back of your seed packet. And then we have the Elegance Pink. So this is just a pink, a soft baby pink variety of lavender. This also reached 10 to 12 inches tall. Then we have the Munstead strain lavender. And this one is a more reliable strain of old-fashioned favorite, a compact, superior, northern hardy strain. So those are all the lavenders, and like I said, I just sprinkled all of them in one container just to help save myself because I did not have any more. And then I've also done it where I have placed two or more in a container, and I just use a popsicle sticks to help separate them. So you can also do that if you don't have a lot of containers. Then we have the Heliopsis. And this is something that I've always wanted to start, but I just never started early enough. It says surface sow 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost, and you're pressing the seeds in the soil. Do not cover. So make sure you are reading the back of the seed packets and making sure you are planting them correctly. So it says grow in full sun in cooler climate. So every time I would get ready to start my seeds, I will see this and it's already maybe mid-February and I keep putting it off. And this year I'm finally starting out in the beginning of January, and I'm so excited to be starting this. I'm also purchasing the darker variety, but that's going to be for next year. So this is also a perennial native flower of the Midwest, and it grows 30 to 36 inches tall. Then I decided to plant some coneflower. So here we have the purple coneflower from MI Garden. I love coneflowers. Anytime I go to the garden center, I am immediately drawn to the coneflowers. Here is the Dwarf Blend Paradiso. And this is just beautiful. It grows 18 to 22 inches tall. It's a perennial full sun to part shade. And look at how many colors this has. It has yellow, it has pink, a nice orange. I'm really excited for this one. And then we have the green twister coneflower. It says butterflies, birds, and bees love this drought-tolerant, easy-to-grow perennial. And of course, you guys know about the medicinal benefits. Then I went ahead and planted this blue grama grass. I want to this year grow more grasses, just having more texture and things that, you know, blow in the wind. I really enjoyed having the lemongrass out in the garden. I unfortunately didn't harvest them quite quick enough and the frost just took it, but I have lemongrass in here, so it's fine. Sometimes I just like growing things for the sake of growing them and I actually don't harvest. I know it's crazy, but it brings me joy, so I grow them. Then we have the I think we have the silver drop eucalyptus. This is also something that I've always wanted to grow, just to have that in my shower. It is not a perennial in my zone, but you do need to start it early. It recommends 10 to 12 weeks before your average last frost date. So I am excited for this one. Then we have the Bells of Ireland. So this, I think I started it last year, but I don't remember if it even grew. I don't remember if it sprouted or anything. So on the back of this seed packet, it does say start indoors, cold stratify 2 to 4 weeks before, 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. I hope but I know it needs cold stratification, and I don't know if it needs to be, I'm guessing it needs to be cold stratified 2 to 4 weeks before. I'm guessing not before your last frost. I'm guessing it means before 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. That's what I'm thinking, because the days till maturity is 90 to 100 days. So I think that's what it is. And the days to germinate is 12 to 21 days. So I don't think I got any when I planted it last year. Then I planted, did I plant the hollyhock? I don't think I planted hollyhock actually. But I did plant some Shasta daisy. This is also a flower. Well, there's no pictures right here, but this is from Eden Brothers, and this is a flower that I'm also always drawn to whenever I go to the garden center. So I made sure to start a few of those. Then I, of course, had the classic artistic mix bachelor's button, and I just loved it when I grew it this year. I had the, what is it called? It was the darker variety. I don't remember what it's called, but I knew this year that I wanted more, and this is a perfect blend because it has that dark variety, and then it also has these pink and white petal ones, these purple ones. I think this is a really, really good mix. I also decided to plant these Pacific giant blends, these delphiniums. I want to put them in the front of the house. I think I want to create maybe a cottagey garden in front. I know I had this whole video of just more of like structural perennial shrubs in the front, but I think while those are getting up to size, I think I want to do some type of cottage garden, just throw things out there and see how it goes. Then we have the incredible dwarf mix coreopsis. This is a beautiful blend of just yellows, dark oranges. You have the browns in the middle. These are just colors that I'm always drawn to. So I decided to also start these outside. And then lastly, we have Love in a Mist, Midnight Nigella. And this is just gorgeous. I mean, look at that. So I am starting most of these, the flowers that I picked to start in this method is mainly because I want an abundance of it, and I don't want to fill up my seed starting area with all that flowers. So I decided to do it this way. I could sprinkle a bunch and then kind of separate them and plant them, you know, everywhere that I want to. If I had planted them inside, I just feel like it would become too much for me. So this is another way to maybe alleviate some space in your grow area or alleviate some workload off of yourself while you are seed starting. Hey, give me 2 minutes recording. Okay? All right. Bye. So I have gone over all the So I have gone over all the information that I have as far as winter sowing, as well as the different seeds that I'm planning to start. So I'm going to now insert a video clip of just me doing it prior, and then we're actually going to bring them outdoors. The past couple days have been really, really windy, so I want to pick a location that it's not going to blow over, because that is the last thing that I want, especially because most of these seeds were just surface sown. If it blows over, they're going to be all in the mix under the soil. I'm going to now insert some video clips of me going through the entire process of creating my little winter sowing containers. I'm going to check in with you guys maybe in a month or so to see if we have any progress on any of our seeds. But in the meantime, please comment down below what you are currently starting in your zone. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.